Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Asian Vision Dialogue. Our topic today will be talking about the update of Russia and Ukraine war. We will be focusing on the current situation in Russia and Ukraine, the implications of the war in the region and the world, and also the involvement of NATO members. Today, we are honored to have honorable guest speaker, Mr. Red Akiyo, a four-year student of Khmer Literature at Royal University of Phnom Penh. Without further ado, please join me to welcome Mr. Kiyo to our program. Greetings, Mr. Kiyo, and welcome to our Asian Vision Dialogue. Without further delay, I would like to start our discussion. As we know that the tensions between Russia and Ukraine remain high, particularly in the eastern regions of Ukraine, where there has been ongoing conflict since 2014. The situation has involved a mix of military confrontation, diplomatic negotiations, and efforts to find a peaceful resolution. So first of all, what is your perspective toward the current situation in Russia and Ukraine?
Thanks for the question. The Russia and Ukraine war appear to have reached a stalemate as it moves into a third year. Ukraine counteroffensive have been unable to drive back Russia forces or recover lost territory, and then despite the overwhelming support of the United States and other NATO members and allied countries. The Russian military has also not made significant advances in its attempt to seize additional territory. Yet the destruction of towns and villages as well as the loss of life continue on a hideous and unacceptable scale. So even the growing of human insecurity within the region, the need to resolve the conflict has become increasingly within the region. The need to resolve the conflict has become increasingly compelling as the time has come for the world to make more concrete effort at ending the war. So this war, I think, it needs to be used the UN Security Council to work out the humanitarian ceasefire that should be agreed to by Russia, Ukraine, and their allies. So this should be deserved as the starting point of the potential peace.
Thank you, Mr. Kiyo. So the escalating conflict between Russia and Ukraine has had a devastating impact both regionally and globally. So how will the war impact to the regions and the globe, specifically to the economy and global security?
Thanks for the question. So about the impact from Russia and Ukraine war have led to many serious problems. The first is the tension between the West countries and Russia. Yes, when the war broke out, the relationship between them is significantly worsened, and it rising concern about a wider conflict. One more problem is about the global food insecurities. Yes, Ukraine and Russia is largest importer of grain and food to the globe. So when the war broke out, it disrupted the supplies and pushing food price up globally. One more thing is about the humanitarian crisis. Yes, the war has caused a major humanitarian crisis with millions of Ukraine displaced and in need of assistance. Many Ukrainians had fled to many countries, example to Poland and neighboring countries, that those countries need to provide shelter and aid support. One more thing is about the rising energy. Yes, Russia is one of the biggest countries that provide energy to Europe, like gas and many other material that can be used in the factory. So after the war, this war broke out, many countries in the Europe have put a section to the Russia and completely withdraw from the relationship in the economic with the Russia.
Thank you, Mr. Kiyo. We have seen that some countries, particularly NATO's members and allies, have provided Ukraine with military aid, including weapons and other equipment. Meanwhile, some countries have put economic sanctions on Russia to withdraw from Russia. So, with this regard, does the involvement of other countries bring more tension to the Russia and Ukraine war?
Thanks for the question. Yes, of course, about the involvement of other countries, especially United States and NATO members, bring more tension to the Ukrainian and Russian conflict because of the supply, like military support, make the Russian army difficult to move deeper into the Ukrainian territory. And the Ukrainian defender fighting hard to keep it resistant, to make a Russian on hold, to make a Russian stall, make the Russian is difficult and becoming a rate to the allies of Ukraine. So Russia have want to the West not to take an action with the Ukraine to make like allowing Ukraine to use Western weapon to strike deep into the Russia territory. That all of these action make the Russia more angry. Yes, and so all this action between the supply from the West and other country make the relationship with the Russia become worsen, and more of this action will lead to the downfall of the peace in the region.
Thank you, Mr. Kiyo. So, last but not least, from your perspective, is it possible for Russia and Ukraine come to reach a diplomatic settlement and satisfactory resolution?
Thanks for the question. From my perspective, I think that the Russia-Ukraine war appear to have it reach a stalemate as it moves into its third year. Ukraine counteroffensive have been unable to drive back Russian forces or recover lost territory, despite the overwhelming support of the United States and other NATO countries. And the Russia military have also not made significant advances in its attempt to gain additional territory. Yet the destruction of towns and villages, as well as the loss of life, continue on a highest and acceptable scale. Given the growing human insecurity within the region, the need to resolve the conflict has become increasingly compelling. The time has become for the world to make more concrete effort at ending the war. First, the UN Security Council has to work out a humanitarian ceasefire that should be agreed to by Russia, Ukraine, and their allies. So this should serve as a starting point for a potential peace negotiation. And second, both nations should be pursued into beginning a direct talk as a prelude to peace negotiation. And the third, NATO and the United States and their allies must abandon the extremely devious and dangerous nation of offering Ukraine to join NATO. So the negotiation to start step by step, and it will reach to the point that the peace will achieve with the last long and the better resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Kiyo, for sharing your insightful perspective toward the current Russia and Ukraine war. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, our discussion has now come to an end. I would like to thank Mr. Kiyo once again for your presence and for your time for joining our program today. Thank you for watching and see you again in the next episode.